Hello, it's Debbie Gilbert, host of the Business Awards Show and founder of the Best Businesswomen Awards and the Best SME Awards. And today, well, my guest is a powerhouse in the property world. She is a multi-award winning CEO who has built her business on resilience, vision, and a deep commitment to people. Michelle McPherson is the founder and managing director of Hyde and Rowe Property Agents, where she has managed over £70 million worth of property and successfully let and sold more than £12 million worth of property. But what really sets Michelle apart is the impact that she's made beyond the numbers. She's helped house over 20,000 homeless families in high quality accommodation. Michelle's been recognised with multiple awards for innovation, excellence, and client focus. And Michelle has grown her business through strong leadership, personal development, and empowering her team to believe in themselves and deliver outstanding results. She also supports property investors through mentoring and advisory services, helping them navigate everything from buy to let to profit maximisation. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about building a business from the ground up, leading with purpose, and what it really takes to succeed in the property world. So I'm really looking forward to discussing all of this with Michelle. Welcome, Michelle, to the podcast.
Well, hi Debbie, how are you?
I'm good. Well, the last time I saw you, you were being awarded for a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Best Businesswomen Awards.
I
So
was.
I know you've had quite a journey over the last 20 odd years, haven't you, in property?
I have indeed. I have indeed. It has been a roller coaster, but been very, very good at the same time.
Definitely, because it is an industry that has its like ups and downs continually. So,
Absolutely.
what made you go into the property world?
Well, what happened was I was in corporate banking, very much towards the end of my career. I've kind of had enough, and the opportunity came around for voluntary redundancy, and I knew I loved property, so I opted to take the redundancy, and I set up my business after leaving the bank, and that's kind of what dropped me into property. But what was even more funny, I was actually headhunted to run a franchise at the time. I was headhunted to run a Century 21 franchise.
Oh, yes,
And that's
yes.
what led me to create Hyde and Rowe. So after doing that for 5 years, I was very successful at it. And I was one of their top performing offices. And then I went on to build Hyde and Rowe from there. So I did that for 5 years, a Century 21 franchise. And then I went on to building the very name of Hyde and Rowe straight after that.
And how many years ago is that now?
I think that was in 2003.
Wow. So,
Yeah.
well over 20 years
Yeah.
now.
20 years. Yeah.
Wow. And you will have seen so many changes in the property market during that time.
So many changes, and the most ultimate thing is I've seen so many agents come and go in that time.
Yes.
A lot of come and go, a lot of haven't had the resilience or haven't been able to keep their businesses going, and they've gone, and we're still here and growing and doing more. So that,
Why do you think you're still there then?
I believe it's the resilience, achievement, to keep going, the strength, the empowerment of the staff, the growth factor. I love growing, and I'm very innovative. I like to do different things, and I wanted to create a bespoke agency. I didn't want to be the same as everyone else, which is why I created the homelessness. I wanted to do something to give back to others as well. I didn't want to just be the run of the mill estate agency that does the sales and lettings. I wanted to offer more. And that's what
Mm.
I've created. I've created Hyde and Rowe Group of companies. It's not just one company. There's 5 companies in the group, and I've created that. And we create a lot. We give a lot back.
So talk to me about these families that you've helped, because 20,000 families is an awful lot.
Yeah.
So what was the idea behind that, and how did you get that off the ground in the first place?
So what I did is initially, when I very first started, I went to and spoke to every single borough,
Mm.
especially the ones in South London, like Croydon,
Mhm.
all the individual boroughs. I went and spoke to them, and we created this business, and that's how I initially got it off the ground. Now we work with near enough every borough in the UK, apart
So
from North.
these are referrals from the councils of families that need your help.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
absolutely it. I mean, we house them within 24 hours. We
that's
give them home.
amazing.
Yeah, so that's why the numbers have gone up quite quickly because
Mm.
if we have, say, for instance, 20 properties in a day, they could be taken with these families because there is a huge need for housing in the UK. So that's what we've done, and we've created that name. We've created a name to be one of the leading providers in the UK.
And is that a scheme that helps landlords to ensure they get their rent paid?
Yes. So basically, what we do is we offer landlords a guaranteed rent.
Mm.
That ensures flexibility for the landlords. They don't have to worry about maintenance issues. We take care of that. They come to us, they get their rent paid 365 days of the year. They don't have a void period. They also don't need to deal with an eviction of a tenant. Whereas
Right.
normally, if the tenant wasn't paying, they would have to deal to evict them. They don't have to do that. We will do it all. We literally just take care of everything. So landlords have great peace of mind coming to us knowing that we do that. And we offer them a guaranteed rent for that.
And it's also good for the families knowing that they've got decent accommodation as well, because I know that's a problem, isn't it? Some people are housed in the most awful
Yeah. Yeah.
environments.
Yeah, what we are really proud of, and we are prided on with a lot of the councils, is the quality of the accommodation we provide. We provide very high quality accommodation. And in turn, our tenants are very pleased that they have lovely homes to go into, Debbie. And that's what
Mm.
it's all about. We treat council tenants the same, They're not no different from a private tenant. They
No.
deserve to live in nice homes, quality
Yeah.
homes. And that's what we do.
And which areas was it again that you work in?
We work all the way up to North.
North
Yeah,
London.
yeah, we work all the way up to North London. Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, all the way
So
from Croydon, South East, North London, all the way up there. We've got properties really far out.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
So the property industry is still quite male dominated, isn't it? So,
It,
yeah, as a female entrepreneur, what sort of challenges have you come up against?
oh, when I very first started, Debbie, I had a lot of challenges, let alone being a woman and then also being a black woman,
Mm.
starting out in business. It's one of the reasons that I launched my book. So I'm the author of The Female I Am. I launched that book because it really tells people how I started and how I struggled in the industry
Mm.
to get over all those barriers. And you know what? After 20 years plus, I'm still in business.
Mm.
But it wasn't easy back in those days. Those days, it was like people came in, they expected to deal with a man. A woman? What? I used to get all sorts of comments. There's no way she can be the CEO. Absolutely no way. Well, how can she be? She's young. She looks too young. She's a woman. All sorts of comments, Debbie, I used to get back in the day. It was really tough.
Mm.
What? I used to not let it get me down to the
Mm.
point. There was a point, and some of these things are in my book that I didn't even want to put my face anywhere because this is what people saw, and they were like, they just couldn't believe that a woman, it was led by a woman. An estate agency led by a woman was what unheard of. When I started, Debbie, it was unheard of. So I was the only black lady and female lady.
Wow.
Back in 2018 and 2019, I got awarded CEO of the year out of 12,000 businesses. I got awarded 2 years in a row. Um, and a lot of it is to do with that because it's quite a hard thing to go into business
Mm.
knowing that it's a male dominated industry.
Yeah, and also, like you've highlighted, being a black woman as well. So you've had both of those things
Yeah,
thrown at you and you've had to fight your way through, which is
yeah,
so impressive
yeah,
because we have to lead the way sometimes. And no doubt you've inspired other women to take that path.
yeah.
Um, so if people want to start looking at maybe renting property out or investing in property, I mean, what sort of mistakes do people make that
Yeah.
you've seen?
So if you want to invest in property, you've really got to look on your return on investment.
Yeah,
Some people, they're trying to invest, but they overspend.
right.
So I think be very careful with your area choice.
Mm,
Not every area works. Some
mm,
areas don't deliver the rental demand that you would expect. So be very careful. Make sure you're choosing the right area if you want that return. Buy to let is something now that is not as easy as it used to be. You used to have
no.
good returns as a landlord, but now it's becoming very diminishing. So landlords are very disheveled. They're very disappointed now. There's a lot of laws coming in. I'm sure you would have heard about the renters' right all coming in. So they've got to make the right choices. And as a first time buyer, make sure you make the right choice as opposed to, for instance, you've got new build properties as opposed to Victorian conversions. The new build ones are the ones with far less profit.
Mm.
It's things like that. There's
It's
lots.
interesting because you
Yeah,
wouldn't have thought that.
yeah,
I wouldn't have thought
no,
that.
yeah. There's lots and lots of little tips and things like that we can give away, but it's just making the right choices because the wrong
Mm.
choice can cost you a lot of money.
Well, yeah, because you could
Yeah,
end up with a property that you can't rent out or
yeah,
that's costing you a fortune to run it.
yeah, that's right.
Mm.
Absolutely. And then you've got the variations. We offer a thing called service accommodation, which is amazing. It takes you out of the renter's rights, and
Oh, right. Okay.
yeah, it will take you out of that altogether, and you save a lot more of your profit. So that's something that we're speaking to a lot of landlords about.
Tell me more about that then. What's that?
So basically, service accommodation is when you put your property for let on a short-term basis. So it will be
Okay.
let to contractors, people flying around the country, people wanting a much more short-term stay. And we advertise with the likes of Airbnb, Booking.com, Your Rentals, all of those type of channels. And we also get a lot of direct bookings from hospitals, insurance companies. So we do that type of thing. We run those for landlords as well. And what it means is, again, it takes you out of the renters reform, and it can also take you out of Section 24 so that you keep a lot more of your profits on a
Tell
short
people
basis.
tell people about Section 24.
So Section 24 is, I don't know if you heard of capital allowances and things like that. Not a lot of people still don't know about it.
Mm.
But this is when you have to pay a lot more on your returns and your tax, and you're keeping a lot less profit
Mm.
in basically short-term basis of saying it. So you're keeping a lot less profit of your money. So if you put it on a short-term basis and there's a way of managing it, you can get to keep a lot more of your money, a lot more than keeping it on a natural buy-to-let basis. So Section 24 works alongside with the buy-to-lets, whereas on service accommodation, it works as a commercial contract. So it's totally different. It works as a commercial contract, and you get to keep a lot more of your profits.
So
So
what I'm hearing from you, Michelle, is it's quite complicated, and that really, if people are thinking of buying a property to rent it out or have a property that they want to rent out, that they should sit down with somebody like you and talk through all the options first.
oh, absolutely. There's
Yeah.
so many. We offer quite a few different options. So, for instance, the service accommodation is one. We also do a lot of company lets and corporate lets, where again that will take them out of the Section 24 because company lets and corporate lets don't come within that act. So
Ah,
there's many options we can sit down and discuss with landlords and help them.
yeah. So don't just go headlong into it. Come and talk to somebody like you first. That's really interesting.
Yeah, we've got a lot of landlords are doing that, and we've also got some opting to sell because they just had enough.
Mm.
All the
Yeah.
different things that landlords are being impended with, so they've just had enough. They've just decided to sell, and we also do that as well. We're great at sales, and we've got a very big sales department.
And how is the property market at the moment in April 2026?
Property market's okay, providing you are realistic with your pricing.
Mm.
We price our properties to sell. We don't price properties to sit on the market. So providing they are realistic, our vendors come to us and we are very honest. We're not one of these agents that want to list for it to sit on the market. We want to sell for our vendors. So providing they are realistic with pricing, it sells, Debbie.
Are you still getting people that just won't listen to your advice and want to
Oh,
put their
absolutely.
property?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That
And
must be
those are
frustrating.
it's very frustrating, but the ones that don't listen are the ones that sit there. Or
Mm,
when we say to them, listen, it's not going to sell for that.
no.
But they just want to put it on. But sometimes what they do, Debbie, is they damage it by putting it on too high. Then when it is lower, people don't want to look at it because they feel, well,
Mm,
what happened? Why has it been reduced? It's better to just put it on the right price straight away. Don't mess
mm.
about the pricing because you know what? People aren't silly. They look and they'll see.
Because there's still a shortage of housing in London, isn't there, with the numbers of people that are
Massive,
looking? Yeah.
massive shortage of housing.
Mm.
Massive shortage of housing, Debbie. Yeah, and this is why this is like a real crisis in the UK at the moment with the shortage of housing. There really is, and it's one of the things what I wanted to create there. But I didn't want to be just the run of the mill estate agency that just does sales and lettings. And I always think it's very important that you have a solid business structure. That if, for instance, sales and lettings doesn't do very well, that you can fall back on. So what I created with my social housing part of the business is a solid business, very solid, Debbie.
That's really well thought out because that means you've got multiple income streams. You're not reliant on just purely sales, which you see a
Yeah,
lot of estate agents are only doing sales
yeah,
and listings, nothing else.
yeah.
But you've got these multiple income streams, which is really clever because that helps you ride the storms of the
Mm.
property market, doesn't it?
It really, really does, Debbie. I'm telling
Mm.
you, the service accommodation department is phenomenal. I'm actually going to be teaching the courses to set up for people that want to set up on their own because it's a phenomenal income stream. as is
Mm.
social housing. Out of that service accommodation, we do property staging. We also do HMOs, so we can teach you how to do that. We do HMOs. It's called the HMO Bible. We also do property flipping. So if somebody wants to come and find out how to buy a property at auction, for instance, how to set it up, how to refurbish it, and then how to flip it, the whole process, Debbie, we teach that as well. So there's lots going on with lots of income streams, not
Gosh.
just is assigned to just one, which is important in business nowadays. It's important to have many income streams, not just one.
No, I couldn't agree with you more
Mm.
because, I'm looking at, I've got a marketing business as well as the awards, and marketing is being really, really savagely hit by AI.
Hey,
Yeah. And I saw that a couple of years ago on the horizon, and I thought I've got to think about other things that are a bit more AI proof
yeah,
because, AI is going to impact all industries, but there are some in particular more than others. I mean, are you using AI at all yet in
I
the
am. I've actually got an AI expert that I work with.
Oh,
Yeah, I am. I am using AI. So I'm doing a lot. So basically, I'm also, I don't think I've told you this, I'm franchising the actual brand so that other
are
people
you?
who want to start an estate agent can buy into Hyde and Rowe. So I'm franchising now. So I've been doing lots of talks throughout the UK. I'm doing a lot of public speaking now. And I've got an AI expert that works with me. He's really good.
So have you implemented anything as yet, or are you looking at what you can systemize and use AI for?
Yeah, I have. So basically, in my training for the franchising, I've enveloped AI into that. So when people come to me for the franchise and they buy one, for instance, they'll be able to have um, a training module with AI built in, which is really good because nobody else is doing it
No,
at the moment. So it's
that's
quite
really
exciting.
exciting.
Yeah, and there's going to be stuff on the website as well, so
That's
that anyone going to the website can interact with it in terms of AI. You know what? I know a lot of people just don't want to do it and they're pushing it to the back of their head, but you know what? It's the way we're going. What can we do, Debbie? We have to integrate it. It's
we
something that
do.
you've got to just realize this is the way the world is going, and AI is here to stay. It's not going.
We've got to embrace it and
Yeah.
we've got to look at ways we can work with it. And
Yeah.
I absolutely wholeheartedly agree with you on that. And it's
Yeah.
lovely when I hear businesses that are using it and have started to look at how can they use it to help with their systems and processes because it can save you literally hours and hours of time. And who
Yeah.
wouldn't want a tool that's going to save you hours of time?
Yeah, exactly. It saves your staff hours of time. I know, obviously, some businesses are seeing like reductions in staff, so it's not good in that sense. I can understand it. And some businesses are not going to need the level of staff that they have because AI is doing the job for them.
Mm.
I'm hoping at the moment, I'm not seeing any differences in my business like that, but I do know of businesses that are, deploying staff.
Yeah, it does depend. I mean, like from your side, you're still going to need a human being to go out and appraise a property, aren't
Yeah,
you?
yeah,
We're not going to live in a world, probably in our lifetimes,
yeah,
that a robot goes out and does it.
yeah,
At the moment,
yeah,
it is going to be a real person. And you
yeah,
still need to build that rapport with prospective buyers and prospective sellers, don't you? So,
yeah, yeah.
you know,
So exactly. So, at the moment we're good as we are. I've still got the two offices and got a large amount of staff across the two offices, so it works really well. And I'm going to be integrating more and more AI. I'm
exciting.
quite happy with it. Yeah, I know some people feel quite scared of it. I don't feel scared of it.
I
Mm.
think sometimes it's the people that haven't gone and done some training or really explored it. I did my set of qualifications in AI about 2 years ago.
Yeah,
And it once you do that, it kind of opens up your eyes and you're less scared of it because you can see the
yeah,
differences it
yeah,
can make and
yeah,
how you can use it.
yeah,
Um, so I think a lot of the people that are frightened of it are just not exploring what it can do and how it can.
yeah. Absolutely, absolutely, Debbie. I agree.
Right, well, let's talk about awards. So, you've won multiple awards for innovation, excellence, and client focus. And what do these awards mean to you personally, and how has the business benefited from awards over the years?
It gives people a sense of belief and trust in what
Mm,
they're dealing with. I find it makes the company much more stronger. And
hmm
because of these awards, it seems that I'm getting more awards all the time. I mean, some of them are just like, no, but some really good, credible awards. And you know what? When people are coming to you, they know that they're dealing with a company that they can trust, and it's a strong company that's backed by awards. It actually means a lot. It means a lot to people that a company has won awards. And it's
Mm.
a lot about the people working for the company, let alone me. I always give my praise to my staff as well, because they do a really, really great job. But that's basically what it shows, isn't it? It shows you
Oh,
about the CEO and the staff.
I think as well in your industry, trust is something that really is quite critical. I mean, in
Yeah,
any business, it's critical, but in yours especially, because
it
again,
is.
there's good and bad estate agents out there. We
Yeah,
all know that. I'm not
yeah,
talking sort of
yeah. It's the truth.
turn
Yeah,
here, when you've seen the documentaries on telly of some of the bad practices in estate agents, you have to stand yourself above head and shoulders
yeah,
everybody
yeah,
else, don't you?
yeah. You really do, Debbie, and it takes a lot for people to trust you.
Mm,
You've got to remember they're entrusting you with their home. We're selling homes like £1 million over, so that's a big thing for a lot of people. This is their prize asset that they've had for all their life, and they're entrusting you to sell it. So they need to know that they're dealing with the person that they can trust. And being an award winner just gives you extra benefits. It's really important. Yeah.
So you've done sort of local awards, haven't you? National awards. Have you done any estate agency awards? Because they run awards as well, don't they?
Yeah, yeah, I've done a few. Oh, what's that one on the wall? All Agents is an estate agency award. We won
Mm.
that. We've won that. They're all in the window at the moment. That's a good one. And they have like a gala even. I didn't go to the gala even, but I've done those ones as well. There's a few there,
Mm.
the estate
So
agent.
good mix of
Yeah,
different
yeah,
things.
a good mix of different ones. Yeah, as well as the awards that you do. Yeah, the best businesswoman ones are really good. Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah,
lovely.
yeah,
Let's talk about staff retention because you mentioned, you've got this team, and I know myself how difficult it can be sometimes to recruit
yeah,
and to
yeah,
retain staff. So, what are
yeah.
the key things that you think are really important that you've implemented in order to recruit good people and keep them?
Yeah. So it's really when you're at the interview stage, interviewing,
Mm,
yeah, making sure you get it right before the interview stage and asking the right questions. And believe it or not, personal life has a lot to do with it when you're interviewing people because that their personal life will have an effect on the job as well.
mm,
So you've got to make sure that it all matches up, really.
mm,
And you've got to make sure that whoever you're taking, for instance, we're a property industry. So
mm,
there's no point in taking somebody that, wants to be an architect or it doesn't really want to be sitting in an office. It's got to be the right person that's passionate about property. For instance, if I was recruiting someone for sales, someone really needs to have that right experience, Debbie.
mm,
Architect is great, but they might not want to go out on sales. I have people applying for jobs like that. Believe it or not, a sales negotiator, but they could be like a retail shop assistant. They've not got the right experience. And,
mm,
I've made mistakes in the past where I've given people jobs that just haven't been right for the roles. Specific roles, for instance, like a lettings or sales, it needs to be specific. Administrator, it's not so bad. You can
mm.
train. Yeah. So you can
Can
train.
you train anyone to sell a house?
Yeah, that's the thing. You can because people start from nowhere and you can train them, believe it or not, but they've got to be the right type of people with the sales knowledge. They have to have some sales knowledge. If not, they're not going to like it. They've got to be a sales type of person. It's so important when you're recruiting for sales or a lettings role because it involves selling. Or when you're recruiting for the franchise, even it involves selling. If they're going to have a team and have a sales and lettings team, and they don't even know how to sell themselves, they're not going to make it past a few months.
No. And you
So
don't want failed franchisees, do you?
no, no. So I have to be very picky who I'm choosing, but you have to choose the right type of people that have that sales mentality, Debbie.
Mm.
Yeah. And I think, you learn so much from recruitment, who's right and who's wrong. Oh my gosh, it just hits you in the face. You know straight away that person is not right. And you know when the person is right.
And what about the good ones? How do you keep them, Michelle?
Looking after them, looking after them how people should be treated and treating them how they should be treated, how you would want to be treated, really. Staff retention, bonuses, you know, all of that sort of thing. Just any sort of enhancements
Mm.
that makes them feel special, really.
Yeah, because it
Oh,
can be difficult keeping people these
yeah,
days.
yeah, I hear that all the time. I hear that
Mm.
all the time. I mean, a lot of my staff have been with me a long time now, and it is about the retention. It's best if you can to keep. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you have to move on.
Mm.
But if you can retain, that is the best thing. And when someone comes to see me, Debbie, for an interview, I always look at how long they've been at a role. That means that
Mm.
says a lot to me. And if they've jumped around 4 or 5 times, I don't even bother. They don't even get to come and see me.
No, because it's a risk, isn't it? Because
Well, it's
normally
because
someone's
they're
been,
job hopper, aren't they?
if they've been in a role 6 months to a year each time, I'm the same as you, Michelle. I'm a bit like,
Yeah,
no,
exactly. No way. If
I
someone's
can't.
yeah, you just don't do it, you know. And then sometimes, for instance, they'll email me and they'll say they try and give a good excuse, but you're like, no.
No, you just get that feeling.
And it will be like, well, I've got more experience because I've been around all these different companies. No, you should have stayed in one place. And I think it doesn't help because I'm a very committed person, and I was with my previous employer before I started my business for 16 years. I stayed with one employer before I even started a business. And I find it shocking when I see so many changes on people's CVs. I just can't believe it. But you do see it. You see it. I see it so much, so much. And I call them job hoppers.
You
What a
say
good
in
compliment.
marketing, just the
Yeah,
same. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, same thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not. It's not a great thing to job hop.
It's not because
No.
sometimes things do get hard, but you have to push through it. And if you're not, maybe you're in the wrong job or
Yeah,
maybe in the wrong company. But if you keep job hopping, you'll never find out if you don't stay long enough.
exactly. You just got to push through, and you've got to,
Mm.
take the rough with the smooth. That's how it goes. Doesn't mean you just job hop.
No.
You try, don't you? You work it through, and you try your best. And that's what I like seeing people. I like people. I'm a people person, without a doubt. I love people anyway.
Well,
And
you've got to do the job you're doing.
I know,
Mm.
absolutely. And I like seeing people do well. I like seeing people improve. I like seeing people, me push people through. And I've got
Mm.
quite a few like that here that I've pushed through the ranks.
Now,
Yeah.
you're known for great customer service, and as someone who has bought and sold, I think we're on about 13 properties now. I've had a
Yeah.
very mixed experience with estate agents over the
Oh,
years.
really?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I've had
Yeah.
some brilliant experiences
Yeah.
and I've had some not so brilliant experiences. So
Yeah.
talk me through what it is that you do with your customers that makes them feel special, and how do you look after those customers from the minute they contact you till the day you
Yeah.
sell their
Yeah.
property?
Yeah. So what it is, we are very different to, for instance, the corporate agencies, because what we really pride ourselves on, Debbie, is a client care. The client
Mm,
care is the most important things, which I think a lot of agents fall down on. So from the minute they call Hyde and Rowe, they've got a welcoming voice, and we register them on the phone, and we make them feel special. So they'll speak to that initial person, and then they'll get another call from one of my managers. So it will be either Arif or Malcolm that will call them back, and we'll actually make them feel special because they're the seniors in the business,
mhm,
apart from myself. And they will go through like exactly what the vendor is looking, whether they're looking to move, they're downsizing, whatever the case may be. They run through everything, and then they will personally tell them that it will be them coming to see them for the valuation.
mm,
But what it is actually, Debbie, after it's what happens after that. So once you get the instruction and it's on, you've got to make sure that you are in touch with that vendor on a weekly basis, sometimes
mm,
more than a weekly basis.
mm,
And as I say before, we really pride our landlords and vendors knowing that we price our properties to sell them. So we are going to be in contact with them all the time. It's in our interests to
mm,
sell a property. I never understand these agents that just take properties on to list them.
mm,
No, we are independent agents. I know myself, I can speak for myself. We take properties on to sell because that's how we make our money. So if we're
mm.
not taking them on to sell, what are we doing? So we
Yeah.
need to look after our clients. It's really important. So we create a bespoke marketing package for our clients, and we
Mm,
treat them with the care that they really do deserve. They're coming into nice offices. I'm always getting feedback on the staff from my vendors who, they all say that, I'm always welcome with a smiling face, Michelle. It's just so great to see. So, we always get a review at the end to make sure, people are happy. And it's going really well, Debbie. They are really happy. And we do go over and above. We go
mm.
over and above, we work late hours just to make sure these sales are happening.
Shall I
It's
tell you what happened to me when I picked the keys up for this house? So I moved here 3 years ago.
yeah,
And I went into the office, obviously, in the town centre to pick up the keys. And I walked in and the woman was on the phone. There was only one person in the office.
yeah,
She just carried on. She was obviously talking to a friend
yeah.
because the conversation was definitely not business related. And then I just sort of stood there for about, I don't know, 2 minutes or so. And then she just went with her thing, hold on a minute. Yeah. So I said,
Oh,
oh, I've
God.
completed on the address and I've come to collect
Yeah,
my keys. So she's got her thing. She swings her chair round, picks the keys
yeah.
up, still got the phone, gives me the keys, right? And then pulls a bag from underneath her desk, which had some champagne in it, and gave me this bag and then carried on with her conversation.
How rude.
Totally rude.
That's
Totally
unbelievable.
unbelievable. And I just sort of stood there thinking, well, maybe she's now going to finish her call.
Yeah,
She carried on her conversation and swung her chair around to her back to me. And I was just like, what do
absolutely.
I do? Do I just leave? Well, I just left.
Did you say anything to anyone, or you
I
just
did
didn't bother?
afterwards because they sent me a link to leave a review. And I thought, I don't want to leave a review without speaking to them. So
Yeah,
I sent a little email and I just said, this is what happened. And they came back and apologized and said, yeah, that's not what we would expect anybody in our office to do. And we know the member of staff concerned and we are going to speak to them. Because I said, look, from a training point of view, nobody who's just spent, hundreds of thousands of pounds on a house
yeah.
should be treated like that.
That's really
I
bad.
mean,
That's
the
really
champagne was lovely, but I would have
yeah.
actually preferred forget the champagne and
Yeah.
come off the phone.
She should have put the phone down immediately as you.
Just put the phone
Yeah,
down.
she
It
should have put
wasn't
the
an
phone.
emergency call. I could
Yeah,
get that if it was an emergency call, but it wasn't. It was a chit chat with a friend.
that's
And she
disgusting.
made me feel like an inconvenience, to be
Yeah,
honest.
that's really bad.
So that's one of my
Should
little.
never have happened. That's not a very good.
No,
That's really
terrible,
terrible.
really bad.
That's
And
really
then
bad, Bobby.
we had another estate agent once who came round to appraise our property, did all the details. We listed it with them. And we just happened to be in the house when he came round to show some prospective buyers. And he just he'd obviously had no sales training, no sales experience. And he
Hmm.
just wasn't. I was in my office listening to him, and I thought, well,
Yeah,
you're not selling this house to these people. I
yeah,
need to come out and get involved. Um, and I think whilst he was quite young, that onus is really on you, isn't it, as an employer, to make sure that the staff that you send out are properly trained in the sales process. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. And he
Yeah,
just wasn't. He obviously hadn't been given any training on how to sell a property. He was
yeah.
like, oh, yeah, that's the lounge. And yeah, do you want me to take you upstairs? Do you want
Oh
to go and look
my,
round yourself?
jeez.
And he wasn't pointing out some of the benefits of the
Yeah,
house.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
had gone through with him in detail, and
yeah,
you're standing there thinking, you are never going to sell this house to anybody because you just are not looking at the features and benefits of the property.
yeah, yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
shocking.
I know
Yeah,
there's a lot.
so you've definitely had your railroad of a few, haven't you?
Yeah, but I have had some brilliant estate agents as well. And, we're actually trying to sell a one-bedroom flat at the moment. And they have been amazing. So I can't really knock them at all because they, like you, do a weekly updates. Michelle, this is why you stand out in the estate agency world because you've thought about absolutely everything
Yeah.
and you are conscious of the client experience. So that is what makes you an award winner.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Debbie.
And that's why you've been so successful and you've been around for so long. So let's
Yeah,
just quickly talk about what the plans are. So you've already mentioned that you're franchising.
yeah.
What's the next thing? So you're going to work on that. And
I'm
what
going to
else?
work on franchising and also I've set up a charity. So I'm going to be working on more things with the charity to do with the homelessness and things like that and how I can raise awareness.
That's
And
amazing. What's the
yeah, so
charity called?
it's called Hyde and Rowe Foundation.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Oh,
Yeah, so that's really good. So
yeah.
we'll work around things like that. Obviously, the book as well.
What's the
No,
book called?
it's called The Female I Am, and it's available on Amazon.
Female I Am. I love it. And
Yeah,
when did that
yeah.
come out?
That came out last year. I think it was last year it came out, Debbie. So there's
Brilliant.
that, and then there's also my public speaking. So I'm working on a lot of the public speaking and more offices as well. I am actually in talks about starting another office in a nearby location as well.
Brilliant. So you got lots
Yeah.
going on. That's phenomenal.
Yeah. Lots going on, Debbie. Lots going on.
Well, Michelle, you are a powerful reminder of what's possible with vision, resilience, and belief. And I think you're an incredible entrepreneur, and it's been absolutely amazing chatting to you today. So I
Yeah.
wish you continued success with your business.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Debbie.
Thank you.